Hello, Pisces, and welcome. I'm Adriana, and today I have an intuitive reading for you. This is for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I will also be creating an extended, which will be, the link is in the description below. We'll go more in depth and pull even more info for you based on what comes out in your reading today. Okay, Pisces, so let's start with where you are. Seven of Wands and Seven of Cups. Really interesting place to be, because it's as if you're at war with your own fantasy or with your own delusion. You're trying to guard yourself against, you're trying to hold yourself to what feels real, what is real. And there's a real pull. I also feel with these two cards, there's a real pull between the inside and the outside world. Trying to keep your attention on the outside world at the same time trying to keep your attention on the inside world, but knowing that it's very easy to escape into that inside world where sometimes you get lost in fantasies or you get seduced by beautiful images in your mind. So it's trying to keep that illusion at bay. If you're into astrology, this is like trying to keep the Neptune energy at bay. Saturn showing up saying, hey, Neptune, come on, let's get a reality check here. Okay, so, and you're battling sevens. We've got 2 sevens. So not only is this a spiritual or mystical experience or a spiritual experience for you, this also has to do with the strength. The two forces that you're working on here, or that are at odds here, are equally strong. The pull towards delusion, the pull towards reality. Okay, interesting way to start. All right, what else is going on with Pisces? Okay, 2 of Pentacles, Prince of Cups, Rebirth, and 10 of Pentacles on the other side. Okay, this looks pretty nice. All right, so what we've got going on here is there is a desire for a spiritual rebirth, a rebirth perhaps, or a reconnecting to your inner self, to those inner psychic abilities. And that's where some of this is going on, okay? Because you know, imagination works 2 ways. Imagination is one way that intuition can actually talk to us, but imagination can also pull you off into worlds that really aren't helpful for you. And it's as if you're asking for this ability or this part of yourself to go through some kind of rite of passage or journey so that it comes out more solid. Our 10 of Pentacles here. Prince of Cups is asking for something to go through this channel of rebirth, and then it comes out 10 of Pentacles. So for some of you, this is psychic ability. And I believe this 2 of Pentacles feels like it's talking about this. 2 of Pentacles kind of juggling, going back and forth, just like you had back here. Going between, am I in reality? Am I not in reality? Is this real, or am I creating a delusion about it? It's very easy to also do this with relationships, where you think you're seeing something, but it's not there, or something is there and you're not wanting to see it, so you create a fantasy about it. But what this spread is saying is, once you leave this energy behind of back and forth and you decide on one thing, the one thing that you want to be transformed and reborn, ask for that one thing. And that will go through this passage here. So Prince of Cups, he's saying, okay, here's my ask. Here's what I'd like. And then this figure here goes through the long tunnel of the journey into death and then out into the light again. So that one thing is getting transformed, where it can come out into the light and actually be solid and useful for you. Let's get a little bit more information on what that actually is for you, Pisces. Middle 2. Whoa, cards are wanting to fly everywhere. The Lord and the Princess of Cups. We're coming up against the same thing over and over. structure versus flow, reality versus emotions. It's as if you're wanting a way to have it's almost like a structure to your emotional world. And I don't want to say it's like okay, from 10 to 2, I'll feel sad, or from 3 to 5, I'll feel happy. There's just this yearning for your emotional self to come back to reality. And this question of, why do I keep getting swept away? Why do I keep getting caught off into these? It's like you start in an emotional place, and that emotional energy builds and builds and builds. And then in order to either keep that emotional energy going or to escape the emotional energy, you go into here, this world of delusion, this world of things that aren't true. So either you'd start telling yourself stories that prolong the emotion, or you can't sit in that emotion anymore and you just distract yourself and you go somewhere else. Okay, and so there's a wanting these two forces to meet, the practical reality, the groundedness, the secure foundation. There's a wanting for that to meet with your emotions, but they're not meeting. See, like this cape wants to flow right into her, but her cape is flowing there. So they're just not touching. And you're just saying, is there a way where I could get this to work, where my emotional life could feel a little bit more grounded, could feel a little bit more structured? Yeah, I do feel it's the containment of emotion rather than the release of control. I mean, we could go backwards with the reading that way, but I feel more like you want the emotions to be somehow contained. Okay, what is your soul teaching you in all this? What does your soul have to say about all of this? You're getting a lot of pairs of cards. Everything is either a pair or I'm laughing because every time these cards are coming up, it's like a duality. The two things that just don't match together. Okay, one side of the coin or the other, black or white, right or wrong. Did I say left or right already? It's these two things that are so separate that they can't really blend together. And you're just searching for a way to blend these together. And I'm wondering, let me get a little bit more, okay? Because it seems like your soul is saying to you, you know what? Let these things be separate. Just let these things be separate. Don't try to blend fantasy and reality. Don't try to see these fantasies in reality. Just acknowledge them for what they are. Acknowledge them for being fantasies. Likewise, acknowledge your reality for being reality. And we're not trying to make it something it's not. Okay, what else, please? Okay, again, 2 cards. Polar bear and the rhinoceros. Wow, these cards it's the same thing. Look, we've got the frozen tundra and we've got this fire, this melting fire. Okay, I'll get to these in a second, but I want to start with these 2 cards because it's essentially the same thing. Can you see the sun, fire, and then the frozen swords on this side? Your soul is trying to teach you literally the difference between fire and ice. The difference between the joy and the warmth of being, the sovereignty and it's not sovereignty, it's just that the beingness of being, and the need to analyze, the need to pull things apart, the need to see through things. What I feel your message is here is we've got moderation with this rhinoceros, is that everything is okay in moderation. Actually, I want to check something in the book because I remember something about black and white. Okay, not everything is an extreme choice of black versus white. Seek the middle path. That is the message with rhinoceros here. Okay, and right now, Pisces, we're having a hard time finding that middle path. And so what I actually think, even though I just read something different, is that your soul is actually trying to teach you that sometimes things don't touch. Sometimes things are actually yes or no, black and white. It's not always maybe, okay? Now, with these cards, there's a lot of ancestral energy also coming up. I'm thinking we're going to look deeper into the why this is coming up at all. So if you felt this resonated with you and you'd like to check out the extended, please follow me over. The link is in the description below, and I'll see you over there, Pisces.